Hello everybody and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be looking at the new article for Age of Sigmar 4th edition all about battle tactics and what's in it. And there's quite some really good information and some clarifications, which is always good. So grab a brew, get comfortable, let's get waffling. So, Games Workshop kindly dropped a new article. Battle tactics are the key to winning games of Warhammer, the Age of Sigmar, and here's how they work. Well, we know how they work, and, so let's have a little look in. So, fighting over objectives and smashing the crap out of your opponent in First Blood, Match Play, and General's Handbook is pretty much how you win. But battle tactics are key, because they're now worth 4 points. So, obviously, like everything in the edition, everything is an ability, even picking a battle tactic. And as you can see, once per battle, at the start of your turn, you can pick a battle tactic, and it's called Tactical Gambit. Effects: pick one battle tactic that you have not attempted, and you can attempt to complete this battle tactic this turn. Now, there are a couple of little things here, and I want to just highlight this right here. I've talked about this a few times regarding the double turn, and obviously the ramifications of not being able to do a battle tactic if you do the double turn. So they've clarified it here, which is really good to see. So I've got a video coming out on the double turn this weekend. So just if I talk about this little thing, this is obviously, it was recorded before this article. So you can pick a battle tactic you haven't attempted yet, and the crucial change to the new edition is that you can't pick a battle tactic if you win the priority roll and you take the second turn, or you take the double turn. Importantly, however, if your opponent wins the priority roll and decides to let you take the double turn, you can still pick a battle tactic, and you can't be forced to miss out. That is really good clarification. Well done, Games Workshop, because that was one of my biggest concerns. So basically what that means is if you win the priority roll and you have the choice of either taking priority, and that includes taking the double turn, you then have to choose to either take priority in the double turn, which will ultimately then mean that you miss out on 4 points because you can't take a battle tactic, or give the turn to your opponent and then you basically go second. Or if your opponent wins it, they can literally be in the same thing and then give you the double turn. So if you're gifted the double turn, you can still take a battle tactic. If you choose to take the double turn, you lose out on taking a battle tactic. So that is good clarification. Well done, Games Workshop. So obviously the next one is you're going to score a maximum of 10 victory points in the round, and scoring and winning and taking 2 in a row means forfeiting the ability score. We've gone through all of that already. So battle tactics are, how are they worked? So there are going to be 6 universal tactics which are used in both First Blood and the General's Handbook, and they carve a path to victory, and you need to carefully consider which battle tactics to pick each turn. So here's a little snippet and a little sort of teaser out 3 of them, right? There's going to be 6 in the core book, and these are the ones we're going to use. So you've got Seize the Center. So obviously, as you can imagine, you complete this battle tactic at the end of your turn if 2 or more friendly units are within 3 inches of the center of the battlefield and are not in combat. Relatively easy. As a Sigmar player, yeah, I'm pretty confident I can probably do that one. Take the Flanks. You complete this battle tactic at the end of your turn if you have at least 1 friendly unit within 6 inches of each short battlefield edge. None of these units are wholly within friendly territory, and none of these units are set up this turn. So what that means is you can't do your deep strike, your Stormcast Eternal Scions of the Storm dropping down from above and landing next to it within 6 inches. You have to literally be on the tabletop already and move into those areas. This is going to be quite difficult depending on the battle plan. Obviously, some battle plans are going to have shorter, smaller territories than others. You're going to have the battle plans where half the board is your territory, and the other half is your opponent's. Or then sometimes you're going to have the battle plans where you only get like a 13-inch strip of territory. They're going to be a lot easier to do because you're not going to have to worry about that, and you can literally just run units to the flanks and get this. So I think this is really going to be dependent on when in the battle it is best to be played, and obviously on what battle plan as well, which is good. So pick a unit in your enemy's general's regiment. So as you know, building your army, you have a regiment. You pick a hero, you make that one your general, and you can have then up to 3 to 4 units to create that regiment. You essentially just need a killer unit in that regiment. That's really good. I like that one, and should be relatively easy to do for most armies. So the kind of a little bit explanation of what each is, like let's not try to teach you the suck eggs. You can all read. So obviously, it looks like faction battle tactics are gone. Well, at least until the battle tomes start coming out, and I fully expect them to start turning up. But what they're going to be doing at the start of the edition is, in the General's Handbook, there's going to be 2 extra battle tactics for each Grand Alliance alongside the Honor Guard special rule. These provide some extra flexibility outside the universal battle tactics and replace faction-specific battle tactics. Now, obviously, we don't know if the battle tomes, once they start dropping, are going to give us battle tactics. I fully expect them to have them. I can't imagine that we're just going to have Grand Alliance ones. It seems very indexy, faction pack type things. But these are, well, 4 of them out of the 8 possible that we're going to get. So there's 2 per faction. So for Order, we have Reclaim the Realms. You complete this battle tactic at the end of your turn if there are 1 or more friendly units wholly within each table quarter of the battlefield and more than 6 inches from all enemy units. That is quite doable and pretty easy, let's be fair. Death have an interesting one. They've got to pick a non-hero unit, so a unit that's not a hero, that has not had any models slain this battle. If there are no non-hero enemy units on the battlefield, you can pick any enemy hero. So cool, you pick an enemy hero and essentially you've just got to kill it. That's really easy. Yeah, really good. You've got Chaos. Now, this one I'm not a big fan of because there's like 4 things you need to achieve to actually do this. So first, you've got to pick an objective controlled by your opponent. Sorry, 5. You complete this battle tactic at the end of your turn if 2 or more friendly units have charged this turn. So now you've got 2 charge rolls to complete. 1 or more of those units are contesting that objective. So they've got to get onto the objective, which is within 3 inches. And you control that objective at the end of your turn. So not only do you have to overwhelm that objective and make sure that you control it, you've also got to complete 2 charges as well. Yeah, there's a lot to that. I don't like these type of battle tactics. I'd rather it just be 1 or 2 things that you need to do rather than, what, essentially 5. So yeah, not great. For destruction, pick 3 friendly units that are not in combat and are wholly within friendly territory. You complete this battle tactic at the end of your turn if each of these units wholly outside of your territory and have used the fight ability. Basically, get your army out of your territory and do some scrapping. And that's very destruction-like. More of a late game tactic rather than an early game one. Unless we see how things like Mighty Destroyer works for the Iron Jaws, I can see this only being like kicking in around turn 3. Because let's be fair, destruction players are going to be really neck deep in combat by turn 2 and 3. So it should work. But they are battle tactics. Next week, they're going to be looking at Spearhead. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to cover Spearhead. I'd be highly surprised if any of you do. You never know. Some narrative player out there might want me to. Yeah, so this is battle tactics. It's pretty decent. There's a lot of good information in there. And it's good to see that they've clarified the whole double turn thing. That was good. I was expecting that to be FAQ'd on day 1 if they didn't, but well done for them to actually clear that up. There is some pretty decent ones there. I'm looking forward to seeing what the other 3 are for the core ones and the other order one. Obviously, as a potential chaos player with the Blades of Khorne, not a big fan of that. 5 things to do is not. It's not great. You know, anything can go wrong to stop that from happening. I really want them to get away from doing those type of things and try to make them as balanced as possible. In the article, they do say that because they're all going to be in the General's Handbook or the core element of the rules, that they can balance them. Yay. Let's see if they can actually do that. But that's battle tactics. It's a lot better than I expected, but at least in some cases, then yeah, Death's got it pretty easy. Destruction's going to have it nice mid to late game. Chaos, you're screwed. And Order, yeah, it's not too bad. So that's it. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, share, and do all that stud stuff. And let me know what you think in the comments. And you can check out my members and patrons. And I will see you later. Goodbye.